The stranger in the field. The sun was already high when Ruth began to gather what others had left behind. The harvesters worked quickly, laughing as their arms moved in practiced rhythm. Behind them, the poor followed quietly, picking up stray stalks of barley. What mercy allowed, what law permitted. Ruth said little. She was a foreigner here, a Moabite widow with no claim except hunger and loyalty. She gleaned anyway. Dust clung to her hands. Sweat darkened her veil. Each stalk felt small, but together they meant survival, for her and for Naomi, waiting at home with memories heavier than age. A man entered the field. Boaz watched the workers, then noticed the woman who did not belong. He asked her name. When he heard her story, how she had left her people, her gods, and her homeland to care for a broken mother-in-law, his voice softened. "Stay in my fields," he told her. "Drink from my jars. Walk with my workers. No one will harm you." Ruth bowed, stunned. "Why have I found favor?" Boaz answered quietly, "You have chosen faithfulness. May the Lord repay you for what you have done." That evening, Ruth returned home with more grain than she had ever carried before. Naomi's eyes widened, not just with food, but with hope. The field Ruth had wandered into was no accident. It belonged to redemption. Sometimes, God's rescue does not arrive like thunder. Sometimes it looks like kindness in ordinary places, waiting for those willing to keep walking forward with empty hands and a faithful heart. Commentary note: Ruth's strength was not loud. She did not conquer cities or part seas. She stayed. She worked. She trusted. Her story reminds us that faithfulness in obscurity often shapes history more deeply than moments of spectacle. Redemption, the story shows, often begins in places where no one expects it. Fields of leftovers, walked by people the world overlooks. Historical note: the story of Ruth and Boaz is recorded in the book of Ruth, traditionally dated to the period of the Judges, circa 1200 to 1020 BCE. Gleaning laws, Bethlehem, and the social customs described are historically and biblically accurate. Ruth and Boaz are real figures in the biblical lineage of King David. This retelling adds dialogue and descriptive detail while remaining faithful to Scripture.